Welcome to the new session of Primate Pro. We are continuing the 11th physiology and the chapter is the neural coordination, and today we will start from the topic the neuron. So before starting the topic I need to draw a picture of a neuron. So give the topic headings as neuron. Okay. So a basic structure of the neuron, you all also know the structure, that is the neuron, how it looks. Okay. So now okay. So a neuron, a basic structure of the neuron looks like this. Okay. This structure will not come because we are not giving the class 10 examination. Just to make you understand, I have drawn a structure. Okay. Now these are called the dendrites. You all know it. These are called the dendrites. Okay. This is the, here are the small particles called the Neet granules are present. These are all the Neet granules. These are all the Neet granules. Neet granules. Okay. This is called the cell body. This is called a cell body. Cell body. Okay. This is called the cell body, and this is the nucleus. Sorry. Cell body. This is the nucleus. Here, a small, it is called a swan cell. After the scientist Swan, it is called swan cell. Here, this is an axon, runs from, this is the axon. Okay. The sheet is covered by myelin sheath. It is covered by a membrane called a myelin sheath. So it is called a myelin sheath. Okay. This interconnected region is called the node of Ranvier. Node of Ranvier. And these are the axon terminals. Axon terminals. And these are the synaptic knob. Synaptic knob. Okay. So I have made it clear that how the axon generally looks like. Okay. Now come to the next topic, the neuron. The neuron. Okay. It can be classified into two parts. One is myelinated. Myelinated. Myelinated and unmyelinated. Myelinated or non-myelinated. Both are same. Okay. So it can be classified into two parts. It's myelinated or non-myelinated. In myelinated, we have myelin sheath present. Presence of myelin sheath. Myelin sheath. And in more commonly found in CNS, that is in the central nervous system. Okay. And in unmyelinated or non-myelinated, it generally myelin sheath is absent. Myelin sheath is absent. Okay. Or more commonly found in the PNS. More commonly found in PNS. Okay. More commonly it is found in the PNS. Now, take it as a note. Myelin sheath is lipid enriched sheath which act as an insulator and hence no free conduction across them, but there are gaps in between are called node of Ranvier, where free conduction is seen. So there is a gap in between, we call them as node of Ranvier, and there a free conduction is generally seen. Okay, so very important thing is myelinated neuron. So what's the importance in it? It's very important. Why? The myelinated neuron in CNS and in PNS. Okay, in CNS it is called oligodendrocytes. Basically forms the myelin sheath. And in PNS it is Schwann cell. It secretes the myelin sheath. Okay. So in CNS it forms the oligodendrocytes, and in PNS it secretes the myelin sheath. Okay. So now come to the types of neuron. See, types of neuron, it can be of unipolar. Unipolar means single polarity. So unipolar neuron is seen in embryonic life. Okay. Bipolar neuron is seen in one dendrite, one axon present. One dendrite and one axon is present. It is example can be given as retina of eye, olfactory epithelium. Retina of eye and olfactory epithelium. Okay. In the third case, multipolar neuron. In multipolar neuron, we see the cerebral cortex of brain. It is seen in the cerebral cortex of brain. It contains many dendrite, but one axon. So This can be asked in the NEET. So it is an important topic. Just remember it. Unipolar neuron is seen in the embryonic life. Bipolar neuron is seen in the retina of the eye, and the multipolar neuron is seen in the cerebral cortex. Okay, many dendrite, but only one axon in case of multipolar. Okay. Now there is another term is called an apolar. That is apolar, only cell body is present. Only cell body is present. Example, hydra. Okay. And pseudo unipolar, that is false. In pseudo unipolar, only it is the dendrite and its axon. Okay. So how the information is exchanged? Information is exchanged by dendrite receive the information. Dendrite receive information. It transmits or sent to the cell body. The cell body transmits into axon. Okay. In this way, the information is exchanged. Okay. A single protoplasmic extension arise from cell body which later gives divided into one dendrite and one axon. Okay, which later gets divided into one dendrite and one axon. Okay. Now, note. The Schwann cell enclosing neuron may or may not secrete myelin. Schwann cell that does not form myelin around axon is common in autonomous and somatic neural system. Okay. So it is common in somatic, autonomous and somatic neural system. So here now the generation, important part is coming. Generation of nerve impulse. How nerve impulse is generated? Generation of nerve impulse. See how the nerve impulse is being generated. The nerve impulse is generated when a neuron is at rest. When a neuron is at rest, the membrane of neuron is known as RMP or resting membrane potential or polarized state. Resting membrane potential or polarized state. It is approx minus 70 millivolt potential. It is approx minus 70 millivolt potential. Okay. Now in RMP is maintained by 1. Presence of more negatively charged protein inside the exoplasm. Okay. So inside there is negatively charged protein and sodium ion leak channel and potassium leak channel work passively. In between the sodium and the potassium leak channel, the potassium is more leaky. Okay. In between the sodium and the potassium leak channel, the potassium is more leaky. What happens? Through sodium leak channel, sodium comes in, and through potassium leak channel, potassium goes out. Okay. As compared, potassium channels are more in number and more leaky. Okay. Now in between sodium potassium active pump, utilizing, this question comes in Neet, utilizing 1 ATP, 3 sodium pumped out and 2 potassium comes into the exoplasm. This is a very, very important question for Neet 2025. Important. Okay. This is a very important question and I think it will come in this year examination. 3 sodium is pumped out while the 2 potassium comes into. Okay. Now let me draw a thing. Okay. Now here this is plus, this is minus, this is plus, this is minus. Okay. Now from here the sodium channel, leak channel, sodium. Okay. Potassium. Sodium comes out, potassium goes in. Okay. Now this is called the potassium leak channel. LC is for leak channel. Okay. So here 3 sodium goes in while 2 potassium comes out. Okay, so its a resting potential is minus 70 millivolt. It is RMP. Okay, now this one is called sodium potassium active pump. Active pump, ATPase is the enzyme required. Okay, now exoplasm potassium goes in. It's a negatively charged protein. Okay, now take it as a note. In sodium, voltage gated channel, and potassium voltage gated channel present on axonal membrane works during generation of impulse. Okay, so I am keeping the matter up to here. From the next day, on the next lecture, I will start from this will be continued up to the conduction of the impulse. Okay, so please go on to this lecture, and I don't think you will find any difficulties in understanding it, because I think it's a bit complex thing if you don't understand it. But if you get on understanding it, it's a very much scoring chapter, while it will reduce the competition, because many students gets negative marking on this part, on this topic, because they don't understand and try to memorize without understanding. So understand this topic, and I think you will get through it. Okay, thank you, good night. See you in the next video. Please subscribe and share this channel, and please like it, and likes are getting less in number, so please like the video. Okay, thank you.